This is Tech Trends, a program that takes you on a ride to seek out innovation and creativity that are unique to Nigeria. On this week's episode, we check out how tech-driven modular learning spaces are helping to bring out students' innovative thinking. Also on the program, Adeze Shokon, Country Director of the UK-Nigeria Tech Hub, joins us to discuss how we can deepen innovation in the tech ecosystem. We give you all that, plus the latest tech updates. Welcome to the program. I'm Olayemi Odunuga.
Education should not be about building more schools and maintaining a system that dates back to the Industrial Revolution. We can achieve so much more at unmatched scale with software and interactive learning.
Creating an environment that supports interactive and active learning not only brings out the individual capabilities of students, but also avails teachers an opportunity to be dynamic and adapt online tools for efficiency. Today, technology is reshaping the way education is perceived, and innovative thinkers keep coming up with fresh solutions to bring a change from the old style of teaching. And one example is the adoption of interactive modular classrooms.
Viewing this containerized structure from the exterior will give you no inkling what awaits inside, but a closer look changes that impression. The one-story building is a modular interactive school built using standardized reusable freight compartments, known as containers, a deviation from the brick-and-mortar school buildings. Since the pandemic hit in 2020, a number of learning institutions transitioned online, leveraging educational technology to adapt to the new reality.
Plus 1y plus 6y plus z. Okay, he said 3a plus 2a. That will give us what? 5a. That is 5a. 5a plus 6b. Is it correct? Yes.
But providing an environment that supports the technology is key, hence learning spaces like this. Interactivity is an important part of this setup, and low-cost and easy-to-use tablets are available to encourage the students access the notes the teacher is using.
For example, a science teacher that wants to teach any topic in the science world, you have a 3D platform that the teacher can actually use for the purpose of demonstration. So take, for example, a teacher that wants to teach a circulatory system where the positioning of the heart is. You have a 3D that is very interactive that the teacher can actually use. So here is me interacting with the content. Right now, I can go ahead and look at the structure of the heart with the labeling part. So I may decide to give my student the opportunity for them to label it themselves. I have this solution that I can actually use. We also have Teachers 3D community platform where teachers have the opportunity to create interactive lessons. It's actually embedded in the solution.
These students from Vetland Junior Grammar School in Lagos are the first set to experience this pioneer innovation in the state.
My feeling about this school is that it enhances the children's learning. If they don't know something, they can look it up in the Google, because we have our tabs with us, our teachers with the smart boards, the interactive boards. They can even give an example with looking it up in the Google with a picture. Like, this is so amazing. Even if the teacher is not even in the classroom, they can search, explore the world, like what they don't understand in the classrooms, they can look it up in on the internet. It's also a privilege, like an encouragement to the less privileged parents that don't have the ability to send their children to private school. I'm so excited.
I have the compass. If I need to do a simple construction like this, I can construct with my compass.
Digital literacy is mandatory for the teachers as well to enhance visual learning, and they make use of interactive touchscreens instead of boards. What both parties need is to have their tablets and internet connection, and learning can take place anywhere. Power supply, which is usually a major issue in the country, is addressed as the building has its own dedicated energy source that's off the grid.
We're sitting right here in a modular school. In here, 52 containers, a 12 classroom block. And why? Why modular? We needed an envelope to warehouse our technology. It's not as if we couldn't have sat in a brick and mortar building, that's fine. But the reality, the concept behind it, the mindset behind it was, what's new? What are we going to do differently? What's rugged enough that can take this African environment that we're in and, you know, the sunshine, the adverse weather effect that we have here? How do we have sustainable buildings? How do we reuse what we already have that's littered all over the place? Reuse it and make it a lot more, you know, useful rather than it just, you know, being a mess all over the place. And that's why the modular infrastructure is fantastic. So they are just absolutely fantastic for learning spaces. And then when you have that idea that the kids will run into them, oh yeah, protection, safety, they're built from a sustainability perspective, it ticks the right box. 50-year lifespan, you know, and then you update. When there's rust, you know, you can go back, and then also maintaining them. All you do is just wipe, you know, just wipe. So it saves you having to paint your schools all the time, you know, just have a clean cloth, clean up, and you're good to go again. So modular buildings end up just being the right kind of, you know, kind of environment, we thought, for this unique projects that we want to roll out, you know, within the technology space.
If the benefits from this scheme are to be spread and used widely, more of these sorts of facilities will definitely be needed. Expectations are high that this indeed will be the case. A French luxury brand, Yves Saint Laurent, has demonstrated what they say is a first-of-its-kind in-store experience that uses brain scanning technology to help shoppers choose the perfect perfume based on their emotional response. The tech was unveiled this week at the Viva Technology Conference dedicated to innovation and startups in Paris, France. Visitors first fill out a touch-screen questionnaire, answering questions such as whether they prefer a fragrance close to the smell of a dense forest or of a spice market, and how they want the perfume to make them feel. An algorithm then decides on 6 simple accords with a multi-sensor EEG-based headset tracking their emotional responses to different scent families and analyzing these to make product recommendations.
It measures emotions. You have a questionnaire and it measures emotions when you smell different fragrance accords, and it tells you what makes you happy, stressed, confident. There are different criteria, and you see the curves that are being measured at the time where this lady is smelling right now, and the machine is measuring what this particular accord is triggering as emotions for her.
The experience was created in partnership with US-based bioinformatics company Emotive that develops EEG technology to advance understanding of the human brain. Hieronymus claimed there is a 96% accuracy in terms of fragrance recommendation and consumer satisfaction.
We hear a lot about personalization, and personalization is not only creating a product made to measure, it's also helping the consumers finding the right products for them amongst the thousands of products that are on the market. So it is part of the future of shopping, you know, and I'm pretty sure that in a few years we'll find even faster, simpler ways to do it. But right now I think it's pretty much state of the art, and if consumers are happy about it, we're happy about it.
It is not bad, not completely, but it is fine. At least the recommendation worked for me. I am not convinced by the 3 selected fragrances, but the first and last ones match my taste more or less. It is not bad.
Hieronymus added that he believes the technology will ultimately help make consumers' buying decisions easier. A UK startup is hoping its lightweight hybrid can bridge the gap between cars and bikes and make electric motoring more affordable. Northern Light Motors claims its vehicles are extremely energy efficient and a fraction of the cost of a regular electric vehicle. Their 3 models start with a pedal-powered 428, the 557, which e-assists the pedals with a 48-volt of battery, giving a 50-mile range, and the top of the range fully electric 630 model with a 1.5 kilowatts hub motor and 48-volt 20 Ah battery.
So my background's in car design, working for major OEMs, and I've been getting increasingly frustrated with the complexity of the vehicles, with the legislation that we've got to comply with. So I think a simple vehicle that's got the key ingredients, i.e. weather protection, some safety, some luggage, is the way forward. So it is all about building that gap between, bridging the gap between bike and car. I think the key elements to that are, like I said, the luggage requirement, the safety element, and the aerodynamics as well. So you get a massive benefit by having an enclosed body which is low drag. You get much more efficiency out of that as well.
The aerodynamic body design includes lights and indicators and front and rear crumple zones which act like a safety cocoon for the driver.
All of the contactable surfaces are well above bumper height, which is another important consideration. It's got massive crumple zones, especially at the rear, with the wheels, for example, and then it's got bulkheads, internal bulkheads, which are set back from the front and inboard from the rear, so that there's extra safety there as well, and there's core materials in the composites as well. So it's much safer than driving an e-bike or a moped, and somewhere between a moped and a car. So my background's in car design, working for major OEMs, and I've been getting increasingly frustrated with the complexity of the vehicles, with the legislation that we've got to comply with. So I think a simple vehicle that's got the key ingredients, i.e. weather protection, some safety, some luggage, is the way forward.
Comparisons with Sir Clive Sinclair's C5 recumbent electric trike from the 1980s are not missed on Brown, who says the market is only now ready for this kind of vehicle.
It was 40 years ago. It had lead-acid batteries that were pretty pathetic. The technology's moved on a great deal since then. But having said all of that, if we can sell 12,000 of these like Clive Sinclair did with the C5, I'll be a very happy person. So we'll see how we get on.
Full production of the vehicle starts this summer, and the first 630s will be delivered early next year.
Opportunities are constantly on the rise in Africa, with a lot of young minds accelerating innovation and finding better ways to solve local problems. Despite funding and infrastructure challenges, Nigeria has a vibrant tech ecosystem fueled by abundant activity. Adeze Shokon is the country director of UK Nigeria Tech Hub, and she joins us to discuss the growth in the sector.
A lot is going on in Nigeria's tech ecosystem. I mean, over the past 5 years, we've seen tremendous growth. We've had highest amount of investment on the continent. We've seen about 5 unicorns. We've seen funded programs. We've seen innovation hubs spring out. And this is happening in the midst of a recession. It's happening in the midst of a pandemic. It's happening in the midst of high inflation rates, not just in Nigeria, but across the globe. And it's interesting to see how the tech sector is thriving regardless. And I think that this is something to learn. There's an article I was reading about startups solving real problems downtown or not. And it suggests that, or is saying that Africa's tech ecosystem is now a very viable asset class for global investors to invest in, because it's actually more reliable than other investment assets, which is really awesome. So I think that this is really cool, and it presents an opportunity for us to maximize this growth that we're seeing. There's more, all hands needs to be on deck, government, private sectors, and donors like us. So I work with the UK Nigeria Tech Hub, the UK government's program under the Digital Access Program, very keen on investing in tech and supporting Nigeria's digital economy.
Yes, you're right there. We do have a lot of talent, but as a country, do you think we're taking full advantage of them?
And I think that we are recognizing the role that tech talents play in building successful companies. So tech talents and even non-tech talents are the backbone of all startup companies. So without them, there wouldn't be startup companies. We wouldn't even have the tech ecosystem that we have. So there's awareness of the value. But to answer your question, are we maximizing it? I don't think we're maximizing it yet. There are efforts that are being made at the policy level, at the implementation level, to support and upskill tech talents. But I would say that we are not there yet. So we need to take we are taking some important steps. And we're seeing a lot of brain flights, for example, a lot of brain drain, a lot of people are going out of the country. That has economic benefits, not that it's bad, but we need to balance the scale. People are going out, but we need more people who can be in the country and build our local economy. So we need more talent. Our curriculums need to be, need to support market needs. We need skills that are advanced and can compete globally. We need digital infrastructure so people can have access to internet no matter where they are in the country, so they can access global opportunities. And part of our work through the Digital Access Program, which the UK government supports in Nigeria, is to support advanced talent development. So we provide free trainings for young people, no matter where they are in the country, to learn skills, and then we support them to be placed in jobs, whether locally or globally. Also through our digital inclusion program, we support initiatives to reduce right-of-way charges and initiatives that promote last-mile connectivity so that people have more access. We are taking some steps, but we are not there yet. But there's huge potential that we need to harness with tech talent, because it's the fastest way to actually curb unemployment in the country.
We have innovation hubs across the country trying to help founders and startups build successfully. How effective do you suppose they've been?
I think they've made significant efforts. I mean, innovation hubs are the ones that sort of create the foundation, the platform, the starting ground for startups and tech talents to thrive in Nigeria. But a lot more can be done for them to support them to be more effective, beyond just capacity building programs and supporting them financially, which is very, very important. I think the next level for innovation hubs would be to sort of specialize or have a clear vision and focus to channel support towards their local economy where they are based. What do I mean? For example, in Aba, there's this Araria market, right? Which is really good, very commercial. You have a lot of enterprising entrepreneurs that are based there. A hub could focus on building digital platforms or infrastructure to support Araria market so that they have the tech financial services and supply chain technology to boost their market. I mean, that's what Alibaba did in China, right? So there's a place for hubs to really focus on probably providing soft landing as a focus, or being the connect for stakeholders to connect, network or seek investment and things like that. So I think there's more work that needs to be done to support innovation hubs, and we are focused on that this year to provide to help hubs think more about how they contribute to their regional economy. And when they have that kind of focus, they tend to be more sustainable and channel their capacity development towards the growth of their organization, but also the growth of their local economy.
Let's talk about the Nigeria Startup Bill, which I understand the UK government is supporting. What can you tell us about this bill? And perhaps share some of its key contents.
Yeah, so I mean, the Startup Bill is a joint initiative by Nigeria's tech ecosystem and the presidency. And the objective is to harness the potential of our digital economy through co-created regulations, I beg your pardon. So it would ensure that Nigerians' laws are clear, they are planned, and they work for the tech ecosystem. So prior to this bill, there was a perception of sort of distrust between the government and the startup ecosystem. So the startup ecosystem felt like government was out to get them, and government understood that, yes, there's tech and digital and everything is happening, but they didn't seem to understand what was going on with the tech economy. So this bill, through the ideology, the entire construct of this bill was founded on the notion of something we call the big tent approach, which is everybody working together, right? That this bill is our bill, simply put, right? It's not the government's bill, it's not the startup ecosystem's bill, it's everybody's bill, because we see the value that the digital economy and the tech sector brings to the country. So that understanding that foundation, everybody came together: presidency, vice presidency, ministers, investors, donors, startup founders, tech talents, young people aspiring to eventually get into the tech space, all came together to co-create this bill. And this bill is now at the third hearing in the parliament, which we're very proud of. It's also ranked as the best policy formulation process across on the African continent amongst all the startup acts that have been passed. So it's really good. And, you know, there are three main objectives. One is to create the enabling environment, you know, for startups to establish their companies and develop their companies, to foster the development of tech talent, and to position Nigeria as one of the foremost innovation hubs in the country. So if you go to startupbill.ng, you could get more information about the content. Of course, it's not yet passed, so a few things are changing, but majority of the things have been but there's a lot of buy-in from government. You can see that this is everybody came together to do this. But three things in the bill that are really fascinating that people should look out for. One is the Council for Digital Innovation and Entrepreneurship, which will comprise of government and stakeholders to hold everybody accountable to implementing what's in the law. I know we have issues with policy implementation. So the council is there so that we can make sure that we implement the law once it's passed. Second is this portal that allows startups to obtain licenses easily, get registered easily, access opportunities, network. So you have people from CBN, you have people from FIRS, you have people from CDC, everybody is there, you know, to make sure that startups get what they want on time. And the other one is this seed investment fund, which provides early stage financing even from the government side, because government also needs to do work in providing financing. And that way it will boost investor confidence when it comes to financing in Nigeria. So this is really awesome, and I hope that the spirit of the collaboration that we started with the bill, we continue with that. The UK government supported all the town halls and the consultation process through the UK Nigeria Tech Hub, as well as the West African Innovation Research Hub in developing the draft bill.
Thank you, Adaeze, for being a part of the program.
Thank you very much for having me. Bye.
These are indeed great times for Nigeria's tech innovation sector. The number of startups providing solutions has been increasing yearly and are attracting global brands for investments. Just as you've heard from my guest, Adaeze Shokon, Country Director of the UK Nigeria Tech Hub, the sector is indeed thriving. That's it on this episode of Tech Trends. Many thanks for staying with us. As always, we will continue to show you how tech-savvy innovators are crafting homegrown solutions using technology in the country. From startups to big techs and, of course, inventful thinkers, we'll show you all. Don't forget, we're on social media at Tech Trends TV. You can also watch these and previous editions of the show on the Channels TV YouTube account. For Tech Trends, I'm Olayemi Odunuga. Bye for now.